There's still the excitement out here in the Shire. It's just such a great feel, and what they did last week, I think, definitely shows that they potentially could do it again this year. I thought they were brilliant. They weathered the storm of the Canberra Raiders and really stuck it back to them. So if they play like that again today, the Dragons are in for it.
First away game of the year for the Dragons. They finished last year losing their last 4 away matches. As we know, they won in round 1 so convincing against the Panthers, and then last week, well, against Parramatta, suddenly questions, was it a false dawn? Well, they get a chance to prove a point tonight, and Josh Dugan will be such an important component to any success they may have.
Absolutely. Look, I thought his effort's been great over the opening 2 rounds, 15 tackle busts already. They're getting him back into situations where it's his biggest strength, getting one-on-one, generally out in the centre position. They're not giving him too many options where it's a pass selection that is his best attribute. So I think he's playing really well. And this man, Jack de Belin, was outstanding against the Penrith Panthers. He's just really come of age, Jack de Belin, picking his times when to come in. Always had a great work ethic.
And now over to the premiers, the Cronulla Sharks. And for the train spotters, you want to stat, it is game number 1,200 in the history of this club since their entry in 1967. And they come out here tonight to take on the Dragons, who got them last time they met, round 23 last year. Got them big time. In fact, it was a huge second half, but it's exciting to come back to a rugby league game this year and see Valentine Holmes on show.
So good to see Valentine back from a pretty severe hamstring tear. Will take the position of right wing. Edric Lee will move over to the left. And don't be surprised if you see him swapping around with Jack Bird. But that man, Wade Graham, 3 tries last week, 3 line breaks to go with it. He's the complete package. Can ball play, he's tough, runs great lines, left foot kicking game. And look out for him today.
This time you run here.
Rightio then.
Okay.
Let's have some fun on a Sunday night on Fox League. Dragons v Sharks, another instalment of this rivalry, the 39th meeting. And it is one of the former Dragons who takes the first run in prior. And there's a few of them across the board in this Cronulla side, which adds that little bit of extra spice as if any is needed. This is for Fifita on the second charge, back to the 20. And Cronulla so dynamic against the Raiders last week, after being just a little flat in their round 1 game here against Brisbane. So on to Lewis on that right side. Forwards getting touches. They've worked through 4 of them now. Packer leads an army of Dragons defenders there with Vaughan and Whittam. Gallen has a second touch in the set. 60 quality minutes against Canberra last week from the captain. Last it is for Cronulla. Mainly on for Townsend. He's got a chance to run it right up to the line. And then the kick fielded on the bounce by Dugan. All the chasers there for the Sharks. I think the assumption of the Dragons, they just thought, well, Townsend's going to kick, and they stood back, and Chad suddenly had a chance to run. So Dragons, their first possession last week against Parramatta. As they said, they went looking for positives, but at least they scored 3 tries. I mean, their attack has been maligned. They feel a little more confident about their attacking arsenal than they did at many stages last year. This is Packer with the ball inside the 40. If both teams can bring an A game to this one, it's going to be good. Last tackle with McCrone to bomb out towards Edric Lee. Bird lets Lee have it, and that's a disappointing result for the Dragons. 7 tackle set, the Sharks, and they're off and run back. Oh, Lee almost lost it.
And that was a real disappointment last week, the kicking game of the Dragons. Russell Packer dropped it off the kickoff. Then the next set, Josh McCrone got caught with the football on the 5th play.
Tilly on that run now, Jack Bird. What a performance against Canberra with the number 1 on his back. As we worked out, if Barber was still at the club, Bird would be the 4th choice fullback. Penalty goes the way of Cronulla. He only was switched to fullback when Jared Beale pulled out of last week. We were thinking Holmes would be the next cab off the rank. So Bird showed what a talented footballer he is. Any number on his back with Jack Bird, and he's going to play a part.
He's just a natural footballer, isn't he? Wants to play what's in front of him, strong, tough, good on his feet.
Well, this will bring the crowd into the game early if the Sharks can come up with points inside 3 or 4 minutes. Gallen on tackle 1, 15 away from the line. Maloney drifts across field, big for Fifita. chopped down there by Thompson. Packer locked up the ball. Brayley, good service for Townsend. Pump, double pump, intercept. Oh, was begging to be taken there by Nene McDonald, and he knows it. Nene was thinking that's an 80-metre try for sure and certain. Cronulla still with it. Now for Pryor. Saw a long-range try last night. Tom Trbojevic for Manly against the Cowboys. Here is Gallen for Townsend. Quickly on to Bird. The defence need to make that first hit count. Laffey's done it. 5 from the line. Oh, stopped out of the hands of Brayley. And they rule knock on against Cronulla.
Unlucky there, Brayley. Nice set-up play. They're setting up the right-hand side, the Cronulla Sharks. You saw the damage they did against the Canberra Raiders on the left-hand side. Maloney, Graham. Laffey played at that football. There's an argument there for 6 more. They get away with that, the Dragons.
So the scrum 10 metres out, and early challenge repelled by the Dragons, and they'll be happy about that.
Out! Come on, Andrew, not
A chance with ball in hand. So a good start to the match for Laffey. 2 big tackles, and now a big tackle on him. Coming from Kurt Capewell. Really like Kurt, only 6th game of first grade, but so good in the final series last year. Now he's filling a hole there for them. Might be hard to take him out. Solid defence here by the Sharks. Dragons not making any great deal of territory up to tackle number 4. So keen tussle early. We expected nothing less, and they were looking to kick through Macrone there, and he ended up having to show his hand and run. So that is the last tackle. It'll be Widdop in position to kick then from inside the 40. With a little bit of right to left on it. Great take Holmes. Brings Bird into the action. It was a lethal back 3 for Cronulla last year. Holmes, one of the success stories of last season, ended up a test player. The grand final winner. Sharks now finding some metres straight up the centre with Capewell. And a quick play the ball for Brayley. On for Fifita. They look dialed into me, Cronulla. But for the Brayley error on that previous set, now Gallen with it. And Thompson there with DeBellin. Around the legs was McInnes. Last tackle, Cronulla. 30 away from the Dragons line. This is Maloney. He'll bomb out towards McDonald. He's pretty good under the high ball, and he's really, he almost got the commentator's curse there. The ball went down to his thigh, but Dragons are with it.
A great take, Nene McDonald. I really like that set, though, from the Cronulla Sharks. You could see them just getting in behind the ruck. Last year, they showed they're very vulnerable in behind there. And Jack DeBellin, he's taken it personal with Andrew Fifita. Every time he gets the football, he's coming right up off the line. There's Nene McDonald. Just hangs on to it.
Now Packer ripping into Pryor. Sideline duty, soaking up the local derby from on-ground Brett Fitch. Welcome to the coverage.
Good evening, guys.
And straight away, good touch, Brett Fitch, because the Dragons almost, well, Frizzell wanted it, didn't get it. Vaughan is a runaway truck for the Dragons. The chance is still on the right. Edric Lee may have saved a try. Finchy, his work has been outstanding so far. Beautiful first touch.
That's why I get paid the big bucks.
Dragons with it. We'll get back to Brett in a moment. As Frizzell with the ball. What an awesome sight that was for the Red V. Should he have passed though? Now DeBellin on the spin. Is only a couple of metres away from the line. McInnes might have a little crack himself. We saw it at South last year against Manly. Came up with a double early. Now good defence. It was Pryor and Lewis. Played by Dugan. McInnes to Widdop, working to the right for Macrone. Keeping it going. Aitken shows us a little bit of footwork. Almost got him past Maloney. The Sharks under the pump now. Macrone with the ball. Back towards the centre of the ground, and it comes to a complete stop. No defender obstructed there. But the home crowd just letting the referee know they're going to be a factor. As Widdop kicks, he's looking for his man, not in goal, and what a take that is! Valentine Holmes, welcome back.
Well, Nene McDonald do it. What about that? Valentine Holmes up above his head. Great take. It was the beautiful short ball, though, to Bellin on to Vaughan. They went straight through. Vaughan throws the dummy when he gets to the fullback, but Edric Lee, I think he saved a definite try. And look at this. Clean take.
Quite sensational from Holmes under enormous pressure. And a clean take. In the AFL, they call it a specky. 40 away from their own line, Cronulla. So both teams have had a shot at their opponent's line, and it's taken some pretty good work to stop points being scored. Good start to the tussle. Gallen right through the centre. Holmes has come back. He's in everything. Gallen again, arching forward, saying, follow me. Oh, Dugan's in trouble here. He is down for the count, having tried to make the tackle on Paul Gallen.
I would do the same for you if I seen it. And you know that. So don't give me that. I'll do the same.
Oh, it's Packer's elbow.
Russell Packer. He's got his own teammate there. Watch the arm come around of Russell Packer. There goes the mouth guard.
Wow. Dugan, who had that fractured jaw in Origin last year, didn't he? That has got him clean the point of the elbow. Trainer is out there. And, he will communicate with the team doctor.
Just there, mate.
That he's still on the field by clearance of the trainer. Doesn't mean he will stay there. Consultation with the doctor in a moment, but it looked nasty. I'm just happy there's no facial fracture of some kind. As Maloney's with the ball out to Latelli. One of the more underrated players in the game, no question. Ricky Latelli. Oh, the Sharks almost mess it up. Brayley hurried a kick, and then onto the flat of his back. Well, here's the fitness test for Dugan. Able to snaffle that one.
Well, again, it was still a great set from the Cronulla Sharks in behind the ruck. That was Paul Gallen getting at Josh Dugan off the back of a quick play the ball. There's Brayley just off the inside of the kick, off the foot. Late hit. Gallen.
That last meeting of these two clubs as the Dragons get the penalty. The Sharks actually led at half-time 12-6. The second half went the way of the Dragons 26-6. It was a game at the end of a 5-game losing streak as well, and it highlights it's not just false hope. The media build up the local derby. It really doesn't matter where they are on the ladder. Things happen, Dragons v Sharks. It's often a big win for one way or the other. And that was the case for the Dragons last year against the eventual premiers. Bellin gets inside the 30. Now it's advantage St George Illawarra. Macrone's been good early. With it. Oh, Thompson got out in front of him. I don't know how he was going to deliver the pass. They got that all wrong, the Dragons.
Well, what about the hit from Luke Lewis? That was great defence. He wasn't taking a dummy, not by any means, off Gareth Widdop. He went all the way to the line, was faking the play short to Joel Thompson. Whack! Luke Lewis. That's reminiscent of the one he did on Matt Moylan at Penrith, or here, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we get a chance to go back to Brett Finch, the highest paid member of the commentary team tonight. Finchy, great first touch. I just want to reiterate, that was wonderful stuff earlier.
Thanks, boys. Good evening, guys. Yeah, fantastic conditions down here. The ground's in really good nick, and considering all the rain we've had in Sydney this week, it should be a nice, fast, open game. We've seen a great start by both teams.
It's quite humid when we got to the ground earlier this afternoon, but it's all relative if you're in Townsville last night to what it was like here at Cronulla Southern Cross Group Stadium today. Now Pryor with the ball for the Sharks, back up to the 40. So every team has won at least one match this season. Incredible statistic in light of the results so far this weekend. Sharks into the Dragons half again. Gallen, Townsend, Lewis. Angling back in field, and last tackle might be some more work for Dugan in a moment. Brayley for Maloney. He's going to kick out towards McDonald. He's sent to Token, close to the sideline, doesn't jump, and doesn't work out well for the Sharks there.
And a bit of variation for the Cronulla Sharks coming out their back of the field. You can see a little shift out to Luke Lewis coming back on the inside. Cedric Lee just pulls out there late.
Well, what about the two of them? It's like a couple of massive palm trees out on that side of the field. Edric Lee versus Nene McDonald. they are weapons. They have the high ball.
They can both jump too.
Jumping palm trees.
I would still like to give Valentine Holmes a shot out here on the right-hand side. He's no slouch under the high ball either, as we saw earlier.
So scrum duly won by the Dragons. Obviously, Dugan's been given a clearance from the Packer elbow. He remains out there. And the Dragons have possession just outside their 20. Guinness gets them moving forward. Nene McDonald. As far as the 30-metre line. No score. A local derby, 12.5 minutes in. Sunday Night Rugby League right here on Fox League. Every game live and ad-free. Now Vaughan with the ball. Got his first try in a Dragons jersey last weekend. He finished off the work there. Could have been a penalty St George Illawarra's way. Crone is the kicker. Pryor couldn't get to him. Not the best kick I've seen. And Bird will bring it back for the Sharks.
Now, and a lot of kicks like that you can just take on the full, they don't exert a lot of energy, the Cronulla Sharks. They need to find the ground as much as possible, the Dragons kickers.
Hendrick Lee coming to centre field for that run. Balked on the play the ball. Holmes is going to follow up his wing partner. 19 tries last year, equalled the club record of the great one, David Peachey. Enough said. Calendar player. Sharks deep inside Dragons territory. Townsend on with Capewell. Back for the halfback. Townsend sees some space. Got closed there by de Belin and Vaughan. They had to get there. Maloney. There was a chance there on the left. It's being put down by Graham. They'd almost worked the numbers perfectly there, the Sharks.
And I like the idea. You saw Fafita coming off the right shoulder of Wade Graham. That's the ability they got. Maloney can play to Graham because he's got such great ball playing ability. Unlucky.
6 of 8 completed sets for Cronulla. Dragons are 6 of 7 to open what is a very tight contest. And there's been a fair bit of football played in the 230-metre zone so far without being converted to points. But, there's a positive mindset about both sides. Packer with that run. Rayleigh, Pryor, Graham, all there. Now for Vaughan, been good early. The former Raider. Thought he'd be a Raider for life, but here he is playing for the Dragons. And now de Belin. Spotted he, or thought he spotted a gap behind the markers there. Last for the Dragons, McCrone with a kick again. And again, maybe not his best. Oh, and it is Townsend who has the catch. Almost the Clayton's jump from Chad Townsend to catch him.
Again, the better kicking option is to try and put it in the corner there. It's off the back of a quick play of the ball. And you're gifting them the football within their 30 to 40-metre line. Absolutely.
Tackle free. They're on halfway. And they haven't had to work too hard to get there. Now Latelli, easy metres for the centre. Tackle for the inside the red stripe. This is Gallen to Townsend. Holmes wanted it. Maybe a kick for the corner even. And Nightingale well inside. Now Maloney. He's going to find the grass with his kick. The Dragons are going back and missed it. Oh, they've all missed it. And McDonald ended up with it and caught the clip. They've got a knock on against Cronulla. I think they've butchered a try, the Sharks.
Oh, they've definitely butchered a try. That's the third time Dugan has been up in the line. McCrone just goes straight over the top. Latelli has a dive. Comes up empty-handed. It ends up in the hands of Nene McDonald. Wow. That's an air swing.
I'll defend him somewhat. It wasn't absolutely straightforward. It wasn't just sitting there, just fall on it. There was traffic around, but I think 9 times out of 10 he scores. Near miss for the Dragons. And no score, it remains through 16 minutes. de Belin, he came to a complete stop there. Well, he didn't want to play it. Now McCrone with it. Out the back they go. Dugan quickly on to Aitken. We've got Samoan internationals, Scottish internationals, PNG internationals, Australian players, Kiwis in this Dragons backline. Widdop out to Laffey, almost away from Capewell. Last it is Widdop. Crossfield across the face of goal. He was knocked down. Ball is begging to be taken. It's the Sharks who come up with it. Play it's not.
Hold up,
James
hold up.
Maloney, you can pull it up, James. Don't worry about it, Valentine. Control referee is spoiling the party back on the 10-metre line.
And Gaz, that was a better last tackle option there from the Dragons. Great kick by Widdop, put a lot of pressure on the the Sharks, and they've come up with a repeat set.
Exactly right, Finch. You played a lot of football with Gareth Widdop off his right foot as well. A natural left-footed kick, or right-footed kicker who uses his left as well. Pardon me, that was off his left foot. And just a clear knock on there. What about the chase, though, from Russell Packer?
He was giving it plenty. I assume James thought he was play on. He was playing for real there. Aitkins come from a long way across field as well on the chase. Penalty, they call it an escorting penalty these days. And the Dragons, now we've got a problem for Wade Graham as well. Concussion test for the Sharks back rower.
I didn't mind that play from Gareth Widdop where he drifts across field and then straightens to give the ball to Tim Lafai. It really opened up Capewell's inside shoulder, and Lafai, as we know, has a tremendous left foot step.
Well, the referees are getting a bit frustrated here. Yes, we have a player leaving. Someone has to come up and do something, take the shot. Dragons, as you can see, have gone back for a team meeting and left us just up on the 10-metre line. We had no game there for a while. Eventually, it is confirmed they will go for goal.
Oh, it's football. It's a concussion from the football. I shouldn't laugh. I'm sure he hit his head on the way down as well, but everyone's missed the football, and poor Wade Graham straight in the head.
Well, this should be the first points of the contest. Faces 15 minutes off. That is one advantage for Cronulla. Gee, their bench were good last week against Canberra. And there's so much experience there. Bakuya, Hyington, Lattimore and Paulo. The thing about these very experienced players, they can all play big minutes. So if you do have a setback like Graham off early or player injured in warm-up, you've got to play them sent out there for 60 or 70 or the 80. So Dragons have opened the scoring for 2-0 here on Fox League on a Sunday night.
And I like how they create second phase play. Wade Graham goes up the tunnel to get the head assessment. They're all good offloaders of the football. Create a bit of second phase play, especially now Valentine Holmes is back in the team. They'll capitalise off the back of that.
Well, it's Bakuya who has come on for Graham, who is stationed out on that left-hand side, but Hyington was as good as any forward on the park against the Raiders last weekend. So it will be Maloney to get us going again. Their round 2 meeting last year, I can tell you that the Dragons did lead 2-0 here at Shark Park. They got beaten 30-2. But let's hope for the Dragons' sake that's just ancient history. You can't let a stat like that go by. So Thompson is with it for St George Illawarra. Guinness and Vaughan trying to lay that platform. The front rowers, it's a keen tussle up front. Vaughan's had 5 hit-ups already and 15 tackles for the Dragons. Now de Belin, good run, gets them over to 40. Bakuya was the defender. Nice follow-up from the Dragons. Dugan, Widdop ran through the hole, and Dugan did well to put the brakes on. But there's definitely purpose about their work, although their kicking game has not quite been up to scratch. That time it's better. To the corner, Bird is onto it. Lee got in position. Bird takes it himself. Sharks ball.
And that's a lot better kicking option. We're making them bring the football back inside their 10. Jack de Belin, I love the variation to his game now. He's always been tough, plenty of touches, but now he's starting to be a bit smarter. We've seen him pass short to Vaughan on that occasion through the dummy and got his nose through.
Sharks playing this second quick. Capewell again, they're attacking straight through the centre of the Dragons. Townsend is going to send Lewis out of the right wing on the chase. It's out of the full. I was thinking, well, he's kicking for Valentine Holmes. Then I looked up, it's old man Lewis running down the right wing like he's Penrith days, about a decade ago.
He played State of Origin on the wing too, Luke Lewis. A great idea, just poor execution. Lewis would put a hell of a lot of pressure if it stayed in play on Jace Nightingale. But again, Vossi, in behind the ruck, that is going to be successful for the Sharks.
It is longer than a decade ago, too, in the career of Luke Lewis, the wing days. More 12, 13 years ago for Luke. 84-kilo winger, I think he was, when he came to the Origin side. He's 20 kilos heavier these days. What a career. Dragons with the ball. De Belin. Nice flat ball there for Packer. They're threatening here, the Dragons. Quarter of the game gone. They lead by 2. Vaughan with another run. De Belin with a trainer in back play. I think he's okay. McInnes on the 10, dummy half. That is Widdop to the right with McCrone. This is out for Zell. McCrone will be captured there by Gallen and Bakuya. Last it is for the Dragons. Widdop is there on the left at first receiver. They'll attack the short side. McInnes with a kick. And Aiken has scored for St George Illawarra. That is smart. That is very nifty from Cameron McInnes for the Dragons.
And it was one of Cronulla's go-to plays. McInnes to be sitting there in the Clive Churchill studios. He did it many a times for Luke Lewis last year. Very successful play. When you're defending on a short side, you have to come up. You don't want to give your opposite too much space so close to your line. Beautiful touch, McInnes. Ewan Aiken just gets through and first to the football. Well, it was so resilient, the Sharks goal line defence last week. That's a hard one to defend, though, particularly Jack Bird. He has to be thinking close to the post. The big long shift set up. And the winger can't drop back.
So what you're saying is Cameron McInnes has done a McInnes.
That's it. Yeah, it's a mouthful.
And Aiken, the Scottish international, scoring the try. The Dragons lead 6-0 in the derby here on Fox League on this Sunday night. Not that the Sharks are going poorly, the Dragons are going well and have been now rewarded with the opening try.
Now, this is a real arm wrestle. Both teams have gone 50, 60 metres. Sharks have definitely had the better of the kicking game. But the Dragons, they've hung in there,
With that opening try, Gaz, both starting front rowers off. They both made 6 tackles. They both made 16 tackles. No, they both made 6 hit-ups and both made 16 tackles. Packer and Vaughan. Great start from the props. Widdop from 10 metres in from touch. The viewers in the north of England, nice morning there. Watching this one, Widdop unsuccessful. 6-0 scoreline. Brett Finch on the sideline.
Yeah, back you up there, Vossi. Vaughan and Packer are outstanding, as well as de Belin. That middle unit, they've been superb the start of this game for the Dragons. This is where the reserves that come on, Sims and Armour, really need to keep that intensity up. Great start from the Dragons, and who would have thought they score their first try off a kick.
Finchy, while I've got you, what do you make of the Dragon halves? We just saw them then on the try line. It was passed to each other, but not many options off the end of it. What would you like to see done better?
Mate, I think their kicking game's super important, Gaz. Their forward pack's good enough to match it here with the Sharks, and as we can see, they've been really impressive early. Just nice polishes to the end of their sets. That's the key thing.
So Nightingale fielded that kick-off, and Leeson Armour into the action, as Finchy said. Armour and Sims now the job, carrying on what the starting props have done. They've got in the action straight away. Johnson tackled just over the 20. Townsend there with Hyington. And now for Sims, he was big that second half last year against the Sharks. Scored a couple of tries as well. 6-0. Dragons can be happy with what's unfolded here. Good effort from them. Apologies, we've lost our clock and score at the moment off your screen. We'll work on that. Holmes is with it. We're 15 and a half minutes away from half-time. Cronulla with Capewell on the second tackle just outside the 20. No reason to panic. 6-0. Trainer with Gallen. They had to check him as well. Trainer, I don't think, is that confident about Paul Gallen. Not quite sure there. One to monitor. He's left him now. I think he's okay. And the Sharks with Fafita. Up to halfway. So into the final 15 of the first half we go on the last tackle. Maloney to Townsend. And he'll bomb from 45 minutes out. Boy, has he got a bit on this. Nightingale close to the sideline. Will stay in the field of play. He knew he was in for a big hit. with Lewis sprinting towards him. Good take, Nightingale. And now the Dragons, well, just when you thought they had some momentum, Nightingale a brilliant take. And then look what happens just moments later.
Everyone's up.
Well, Lafai, he was ready for the football. It was just a cold drop. Obviously wanted to stay down the short side and get a carry. You can see it there, just looking who he's going to run at rather than catching the football first.
Wow. 20 metres away from the line, Cronulla to attack.
And it's going to be interesting, no Wade Graham. Let's see if they lay that right-hand post again to target Ewan Aiken, Josh McCrone, who really had a lot of trouble last week.
So Fifita out of the scrum, there he is, Fifita on for Maloney, now for Bird. Outside defence, did well for the Dragons, Aitken. Maloney calling the shots there. Latelli takes the next one, out of dummy half. Now only 5 from the line. Cronulla's best chance of the match. Brayley goes short for big Fifita. Fifita is wrestling and he's held in goal. Dugan has done the job there for the Dragons.
Great defence, Josh Dugan. We saw how strong Fifita is in last year's grand final. Dugan did well to hold on to the football there.
Nice and close here, Jack.
This way there, don't go early.
He will go back to the 10-metre line on tackle number 3. Let's Cronulla set up for the next play. Maloney to Hyington. Closing in on 300 first-grade games. Hyington, who made his debut back in 03 against the Dragons for the Tigers. Now Brayley for Maloney. This is Bird, delivers short. May have been a Dragons hand there. Lee is back to it. Watching the referee. No restart of the count. That's tackle number 5. Sharks with the ball. Maloney and a kick across. Not as far as Holmes. Lafai's there. Ball is over the dead ball line.
20.
Knocked on by the Sharks.
Well, I think if Maloney goes back down that left-hand side, he'll put a kick in behind Nene McDonald. Ewan Aiken, Nene McDonald coming flying out of the line.
Nightingale took off back to the 20-metre line, making the most of the 0 tackle. Make 20 metres from the restart. If you're a Dragons fan watching at home, you're encouraged by what you're seeing here. Lafai with it now. Bouncing back from the defeat to Parramatta last Sunday. McInnes, Widdop to centre field for Brazil. Got a spin away there from Fifita. Gallen's gone down. He rolled away out of the scene like he was Jackie Chan in an action movie. Now, Leeson Armour with the ball. He's offloaded. Widdop's got it. And he runs himself into trouble there. Twisted himself into the ground. 25 from the line. To centre field they come. Sims, well, that was obstruction. That was around the back of DeBellin. Did take the defender out, but play on the call. Then for McCrone. Looking for Nene McDonald. Here come the palm trees. And it's Edric Lee who's got the ball. Oh, and Edric then does a little juggle. He does say he likes to entertain. Poor Shane Flanagan just fell off his chair. Back outside their 20 and 11.5 minutes remain in this first half. The defending premiers kept to 0 so far. Tackle was
Can't hold, mate. Can't hold. Tackle 3.
Wade Graham's obviously been given the clearance to come back. Seconds end on now for Capewell.
Boys, and Paul Gallen is coming from the field for Jeremy Lattimore, so we don't see that too often, so there might be a bit of a niggle there for Gallen.
Lattimore into the action, jumper 16 and down onto the bench and straight down onto his haunches. Sharks with Maloney kicking from outside the 40-metre line. Oh, and there's a little chuckle. This time it's Paul McGregor who's almost fallen off his chair. Good recovery though. The 6 starts on the 20. Dugan now for Nightingale. Bit of a, not so much a try drought, he just hasn't scored too many lately. Jason, just 2 tries in his last 14 matches. Equal with Gaz in tries scored for the Dragons, sitting on that 92. Scores 1 tonight, he goes up to 4th all time. You'll still be top 5, Gaz. Now for Sims. Just outside the 40, last it is. Widdop trying to place it to the corner. He leads the chase. Bird is onto it. Bird, nice bump off of Widdop. He'll get a second crack at him. This time it's Sharks starting a set on their 20. For Capewell this time.
And a lot of fatigue sitting here, just watching both packs get back after the kicks. Great run, Valentine Holmes. That's what they need. Forwards are out on their feet.
Well, certainly some sting has gone out of the Sharks' performance. Hyington with that run. De Belin got in front on. De Belin a dozen tackles for the night. Sharks chance to spread it left and then dropped by Bird on the inside ball. Frizzell comes up with it. Frizzell off his feet in the Lattimore tackle. But the Sharks an incomplete set. They're 10 of 14 now, Cronulla.
Maybe a little bit of frustration there from the Sharks. They had so much success early going through the middle of the ruck of the Dragons. Bit of a risk for reward. That play didn't pay off.
Listen, Armour with that run. And they'll get a penalty, St George Illawarra.
Stayed in there.
Rayleigh is pinged there for the Sharks. And Widdop straight away said, we'll shoot for another two.
Well, they look so fatigued. They really do. You can see Leeson Armour on his haunches there, getting some attention from the trainer. See Rayleigh just go that extra little push. The Sharks, there was no need to shift to the left. Whilst, yes, sometimes you can make easy beaters, I just think they're making far too easy beaters through the middle of the ruck without any sort of risk involved at all.
The crowd's taken aback a little by this. We'll go to Finchy after the kick, but if I've got a chance to go to Brett right now, I mean, you're down there amongst it. I think the crowd thought early on Cronulla looked really switched on, but as Gaz talks about fatigue, some of the stings out of the performance now, and they're sort of sitting back waiting for something to happen.
Without a doubt, Vossi, they've taken the crowd right out of this, and they've done well, the Dragons. They've been patient, they've got into the arm wrestle, they've gone forward well and completed their sets. And good things are starting to go their way. They've got a penalty here, and let's see if Gareth Widdop can knock this over.
All the while, the confidence stocks of the Dragons grow. Widdop with a kick. And it is 8-0 to the Dragons. I mentioned the north of England. They tell me 11 degrees up in Wigan this morning. Well, that's the forecast. It's on 11 right now. That's the top temperature for today. So a balmy 11 degrees in Wigan.
Need a jumper.
Great to have your company
That's
watching
singlet
this
weather
one.
there, boys, in Wigan.
Feeder now also to the bench. 7 and a bit minutes remaining in the first half. Cronulla beaten at home in round 1 by Brisbane. Big winners over Canberra last weekend. And Maloney high to the corner. Indigo is waiting for it. Now Armour. Dragons completion rate 14 of 16. They are giving themselves a chance here. Leading by 8 now. It's Derek Sims who'll play it. Now for De Belin. Now 7 hit-ups for Jack De Belin.
Geez, he's been good.
This is a very workmanlike set from St George Illawarra, following on from the most recent points. Last tackle over the 40 they go. Widdop will get the kick in from just outside the 40. On the bounce now, Holmes has switched to fullback. This was very much like Gordon and Holmes there. Oh, and Barber last year more with Cronulla.
And last week against the Raiders, the Sharks had 58% possession, so Jack Bird wouldn't have been as tested as much.
Gordon from the previous year, not last year, but it's something Cronulla have done over a number of seasons, swapped between wingers and fullbacks. So now for Hyington. And he is 32 metres away from the line. This time it's Cronulla who have donned the workmanlike play. Maloney out to the left with a pass that almost caught the defence out. Latelli spun around by McDonald. Last tackle it is for Cronulla. Another chance to kick out to the wing. Maloney grabs it to the in goal and Laffer makes up for an earlier error with that take. 7 tackle set coming the way of the Dragons. And straight away, Sims on the run. Dugan tackled on the 30. This St George Illawarra side, it's almost as if the last penalty goal, they've tried to knock it up a gear, really try and cash in here against Cronulla before half-time. They are trying to pick up the speed of the game here. There's a lot to like about this performance. Now for Thompson. 41 away from the Sharks line. And McInnes and Bellin. Armour was very close to him. McCrone there for Frizzell. Headed across field. Finding Widdop. Widdop decides to kick and chase. Copped a check from Townsend. Cronulla have covered up. Sharks back with the ball, but they don't mind that little warning shot either.
Oh, as we see them. Joel Thompson come down by the line. I don't know why Gareth Widdop does that now. It's the third tackle. They had him on the back foot. It was a 7-tackle set. There's a lot of fatigue within the Sharks. I think when he gets cornered, he kicks too much.
Fair enough. Akuya with the ball. Gazdia, Brett Finch, the experts in commentary tonight. Brayley a dummy half. Cronulla, still no points. Maloney. Latelli's had a lot of touches tonight. Latelli. Up to the Dragons, 40, the ball's on the deck, and Aitken comes up with it. And now Aitken's there to make some ground of his own. Aitken is away for the Dragons. It's a flying Ewan Aitken who'll sprint away and score. And who could have possibly seen that coming? Referees confer. They just swat across the T's and dot the I's.
That'll be tackle 0. I have a try. Can you confirm that just comes out clearly? And I want you to check the challenge on the ground here in the try scoring motion, please.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yep.
I thought he would want to check Josh Dugan too, running with...
Looking to confirm that the ball goes backwards off the Dragons player.
It's all Aitken that we're looking at here. Latelli passed it back into Aitken. And while it may have then contacted Latelli, it is back facing the Dragons goal line, so that should be play on, I would have thought.
Yeah, and then it's off Latelli's hands again.
Or are you going to say if his right hand it's gone back towards the Cronulla line? A bit technical here.
Well, it hits his chest first.
As you can see, the ball touches Atkins at this point here and continues to travel towards his own goal line.
That would clear him of
So the ball has gone backwards off the Dragons. At this point, we're playing on.
So now they want to review, I take it, the tackle on Aitken in scoring. It's all good for the Dragons from here.
Josh Dugan, he gets in Heinington's way, but I don't think anything to be too concerned about.
Well, downfield we go. Now does Dugan, he's running alongside him, and then Aitken scores.
And we have a grounding, we have a decision going to the board.
I thought we were going to look at Heinington over the top of Ewan Aitken. There's no dramas
We've
there.
cleared the contact from Chris Heinington. We have a decision going to the board.
In fact, Heinington, he deserves a pat on the back. He's done well to avoid that knee contact with the try scorer. But there's the bottom line. It's another one to Ewan Aitken. He's got a double. It's a 12-0 scoreline to the Dragons. 3.5 minutes to go, and now it's Morg-like, the crowd here for Cronulla.
There's a good crowd at that. That's a big blow to the Sharks on the stroke of half-time. Maloney, they're going to create enough down that left-hand side. There's no need to push the pass. See, Latelli just tried to get it to Graham. Couldn't. Ewan Aitken shows great strength. Bumps off Maloney. Shows great pace too, actually. Josh Dugan just jogs up beside him, but there's a big, big blow to the Sharks just before half-time.
I'm glad Dugan didn't do any more than
Exactly.
that, because Aitken was going to score, and to come up with a play that impeded a defender, it's of no use at all. So Widdop, and again Gareth Widdop has nailed it, and the lead is 14-0 to St George Illawarra in the derby. Finchy.
Well, the Dragons are doing a Cronulla on Cronulla. They're just out enthusing them, getting through their sets, really just making them come off their own line, putting plenty of pressure on the Sharks, forcing them into error, and just just the energy from the Dragons so far, just outmatching or out-enthusing the Sharks.
And they had to be if they were any chance, didn't they, Finchy? I mean, Sharks far more creative, a bit more crisp, whereas the Dragons just showing some resilience and toughness, and they're in this for the long haul.
So Dragons from the restart, and another run for Leeson Armour. The last time they kept the Sharks to 0 in the first half was back in round 13, 2014, 18-0. They went on to win 30-0 with Josh Dugan snaring a hat-trick. Dragons 15 metres inside their own half. Here on Fox League on a Sunday night, game 8 of round 3. Absolutely intriguing competition we have so far. Frizzell with the ball. Last it is, but another good set for the Dragons. Completion rate, another completed set. They're doing well in that department. 18 of 20 and 56% of the ball to the Dragons in this first half, and 14 points on the board. Edric Lee. There is very little atmosphere for the Sharks at the moment. They're wanting a big play from Bird or Valentine Holmes, something to ignite them here. Inside the final minute of the first half. Played by Capewell. Now Hyington on for Maloney. There with Latelli. They have attacked their left side all night. Latelli has got it back to Lee. Now the ground of Vocal. Lee back inside. They cut it forward to Townsend. Chad, post try. Call it off. I don't know what you're doing, but it's no try.
And I was just about to say the risky play paid off. It was just the last pass. Great ball back on the inside from Latelli.
Okay, scrum clock on.
Maloney wasn't even ready for the football. He shifted it to Latelli. Latelli does brilliantly. Edric Lee.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, Penrith fans are saying, what? What's going on? The Panthers fans disgruntled against the Roosters last night. Well, now that's livened up the Sharks crowd.
Are you asking a question about something? Okay, what's the question? Okay, don't make assertions about 50-50 this, okay? Well, what are you asking? What are you asking?
So it feels like I'm putting it back out of his head, and then up there.
Mate, I've ruled that as forward over the ground.
It was Cummins' call. He was right in line. Controversy going to half-time. Let's go to Brett Finch.
Yeah, down here with Tyson Frizzell. Great start to the half, mate.
Yeah, mate, it's pretty simple footy for us. You know, there's not much footy being thrown around at the moment, but that's what's going to win us at the end of the game.
Mate, your forwards have been really aggressive and certainly setting the tone for you guys.
Yeah, mate, these look.
If the kicking game can get a little better, it'll be even better again. But Jack de Belin, I think he's been a standout for the Dragons. His pass selection, he can get to certain points on the field and allow the halves to take over. We saw a short ball to Vaughan to put him straight through a hole, and then we saw a dummy to go straight through as well. So a really good variety from Jack de Belin.
Big meters. What about Valentine Holmes? If they are to come back, he's got to be involved. He'll be part of it.
Well, the last 10 minutes went to the fullback position, went in around the ruck, was over on the left-hand side when Latelli went through. So if the forwards can start to dominate through the middle of the ruck like they were in the first 20, he will really come into play.
So it will be Cronulla to start this second half. A lot of these derbies have been decided by 14 points or more. Latelli, busy first half.
Time you run here.
No conversion into points, despite a few chances. Second half here at Southern Cross Group Stadium, the last match of round number 3. Where the sides that hadn't won a game, 4 of them, have all recorded victories. Straight away, the Dragons off the back of an offload, able to get outside the 20. Tell you what, I mean, it's interesting enough as it is, but if they score first in the second half, it's really going to force the Sharks to play some football. He seems to play it. It was slow. Brazil. There is a former Shark in the Dragons side. Now down the short side, McCrone and Aitken having a good night. 2 tries already. Almost got a flick there to McDonald. 15 inside the Sharks half. Tackle number 4 to centre field. De Belin to Leeson Armour. And this has been a great set to start the second half for St George Illawarra. Could not have scripted it any better. Armour all the way inside the 20. Crone now. And has got the kick in. The ball has lost it. And then Townsend in an offside position.
Offside.
He saves the try by kicking it dead. It's a professional foul of sorts. He can't just leave the ball there. He's got to kick it away.
You'd much rather give away a penalty than concede a try. Jack Bird flying across, just couldn't pick it up. But what a start from the Dragons. What a great set. Went down the short side to Ewan Aiken. Jack de Belin passed back to Leeson Armour. They went over 80 metres.
Maloney with a kick dead. You can see my point. It's a professional foul of sorts. We talk about deliberate offences in try-scoring situations. He's had to play it in an offside position. I'm being technical. Dragons with it. Well, if he doesn't kick it, then they score. The Dragons. Here's the ball as Dugan goes left side and Lafaye's in. He offloads as well. Thompson with it. Thompson, a couple of metres away from the line. Well, they've certainly got themselves the chance to score first in the second half. Leeson Armour. Back closer to the posts. McInnes up forward to Belin, taking a shot at them. Brayley wraps his arms around the ball. He's ended up, he may have fallen on the line and put it down. He has. De Belin, but the referee already said
Get up and play it. Short when you called 4. Always short.
Here! Tell 4.
So he's fallen to the ground, but you can't allow that as a try if the referee has called hell. Now McInnes. And then for Widdop on the bounce. Trying to get away from Townsend. Wasted tackle by St George Illawarra. Last now with McCrone. He'll look for McDonald. It was a flat kick. He's got it. Straight into the arms of Maloney. Gets away from the sideline. Cronulla back with the ball.
Too smart, James Maloney. He saw that Nene McDonald was trying to pass it back into Ewan Aiken and just snuck in between.
Bird, a relieved man for Cronulla not to concede. And Bakuya gets inside Dragons territory. Again, little piece of play sparks the crowd back up for Cronulla. Just like that, they're 30 away from the Dragons line. 2 left in the set. Townsend works right for Lewis. They have not used their right side attack tonight. Back to centrefield offload, Bakuya, Maloney, now straightening up as Graham, their try-scoring machine. Last tackle, Sharks, and penalty on the last. Big result for Cronulla, that.
And that's silly from Josh McCrone. The line was set. There was no need to concede the penalty on the 5th tackle.
Jaden, where you are, mate?
And half-time would have come at a really good time for the Sharks just to get back in there, listen to Shane Flanagan, compose themselves and get back to what they practice all week.
They're back playing Holmes on the wing again at the moment. Cronulla, they're working out toward Holmes's wing. It's Lewis onto the ball. Widdop over the top. Thompson's work was down low. Sharks will bring it back for Lattimore. We know he can offload. He's held that time. Inside the 10-metre zone of the Dragons. Townsend, Maloney, quick hands. Graham tapped it on. Knocked on by McDonald. I'll get another crack, Cronulla.
And Gaz, I wonder how long, till you mentioned it earlier, Maloney looks for that kick behind McDonald. They rushed up hard again there to put pressure on.
It's got to come soon, Finchy, because Josh Dugan gets caught in the line at the post as well, so he's slow to get in behind. If the kick's the right length, look at that. Look where Josh Dugan is. He's back at the post. There is no one in behind Nene McDonald there. We've got all that space to kick into. Maloney can kick. Wade Graham can kick.
Cronulla will set up everyone open side from this scrum. And Brayley across to Hyington and Townsend and Bird, and there's the outside crunching defence. Good shot by Laffey. And his head may have hit the ground there.
I
Jack
think it's
Bird.
accidental from the Bellin.
That's Jack de Bellin's knee. Might have got Jack Bird in the head as well. Great up and in defence from Tim Laffey. He shut down the play. There's the knee of Jack de Bellin.
They've made their intentions really clear with their edge defence. Nice and aggressive, giving Bird and Holmes and the playmakers very little time with the ball.
It's a fair whack on the back of the head as well. Jack Bird to deal with there. So the mandatory questions asked, and he obviously came up with the right answers. Jack Bird. Who are we playing? Are we leading? Who did we play last week? They work through a series of questions. Now Hyington, on it comes for Lattimore. 8 metres away from the line. They are still chasing their first points of the night, and we're 46 minutes in. Brayley, Townsend. Townsend has driven back this time. He is having a night out, Jack de Bellin. And this time it's Townsend hurt. He's in all sorts. Jack de Bellin tonight. 18 tackles, 10 hit-ups. Plenty of metres made. Cronulla with Hyington. And that time it's Sims who gets in there to make the tackle. Slow play the ball. Brayley for Maloney. He does try the kick. Dugan gets his right duke to it. Line drop out, Dragons.
And the problem is you need it off a 2-pass. See there. They rushed up, but it was only 1 pass off the ruck. Dugan was able to get across. If they can lay it just outside that right-hand post as they'd been doing earlier, possibly get the 2-pass to either Maloney or Graham. It's definitely on.
Jack de Bellin has gone off in back play. He's okay. Jacob Host gets into the game for the first time tonight. Here is Jack. Outstanding performer here. Line drop out. Maybe a touch over the line from Dugan. They don't watch that all closely anymore. Now Lattimore with it. A little bit going Cronulla's way here, but they have to turn it into points at some stage. And Bakuya. A little bit of angle on his run. Thompson there with Sims and Host just outside the 20. Townsend out the back. Maloney, this is the chance. Bird to Latelli. He's only got eyes for the try line. Oh, he's lost it. He loses it at the finish. He's Dugan up with the ball.
Hold it!
The flag stays down. Play on, Dragons.
Well, they've troubled them over on this right edge of the Dragons. The Sharks left, and they'd created the opportunity.
I thought he slipped into this.
Aiken on 2.
Down, but great tackle, Josh Dugan. Jack Bird does well, fall in, gets the ball across. Ricky Latelli, he generally scores from that position. It was Josh McCrone who came over the top as well. Tyson Frizzell gets there. And Ewan Aiken, I think he just falls into this. Ooh, James Maloney.
It's another stoppage in play. Latelli has gone close a number of times tonight. A wrap for Dugan. Macron, Frizzell, all there. There's real commitment from the Dragons.
Yeah, that's what Mary McGregor will be happy about, Vossi. 3 Dragons players there in cover to stop the try.
Especially considering last week, that right edge, good defence from the Sharks. That right edge of the Dragons really did struggle against Parramatta.
Was that first hit up into the match, and Post was hit with everything by the Sharks. Now some rugged meters made by McDonald.
Jeez, he's got good feet.
And he gets a quick play the ball as well for Zerrell. Good man to follow up. Graham the defender. Last tackle, St George Illawarra. The kick's from inside the 40. It's Dugan who got a fair piece of it. Holmes, he does so much so easily. Onto the ball, and good chase from Macron. Telly for Edric Lee. 14-0 was the halftime score. Through 8 minutes in the second period now. For Latelli, they're travelling a little better, but the margin is the same. The defending premiers are looking down at the moment. Bakuya. Well, definitely in this 5-minute period, the Sharks are on top. Brayley to Townsend. He had Lewis there. He finds Lewis. Great tackle, Widdop. Quick play the ball. Brayley. Last for Cronulla. Don't know whether the Dragons are onside. Townsend's kick forced by Frizzell. Let's have it again, Sam. Let's have another line drop out.
And smart play from the Sharks, just build pressure. And particularly how they're going out on this left edge. Look at that, strong carry. Straight through off the back of this really quick play the ball and get a repeat set of 6, and now the opportunity for a nice set piece, and I bet you it'll come at the Dragons' right edge.
And let's go down to Brett Finch on the sideline. No umbrella, has to tough it out. All of a sudden the rain has come.
No, I've just got an umbrella given to me, Vossi, so happy there. But the footy's really opening up now. The Sharks applying plenty of pressure, and this is what they do best.
Sharks with it, and Hyington back. Assistant holding the umbrella for Brett on the sideline. Getting in grapes. And the ball is with Lattimore. 25 away from the line. Brayley, Maloney, Townsend. This time he goes short again to Lewis, not out the back. I can't get it out to Valentine Holmes. Brayley, Bakuya. The bench coming into play for the Sharks. Bakuya. Oh, he looked at the line. He could smell it. He was on top of it. Townsend, kick for the in goal again. The Dragons have lost it. I don't think they forced
Dragons
it.
actually ground it.
Lewis claims the try, but just hang on.
Tackle 4. I have no try. Can you just see if St George do ground that before Luke Lewis does?
Worst result will be line dropout from a Sharks perspective for the Dragons.
Well, Widdop got up confident, he grounded the football. Nice little kick from Townsend.
We've confirmed that Cronulla chase is onside.
Look at the desperation from Widdop. You see Lewis coming through. No, that's not grounded.
Oh, but has...
There is no grounding from Gareth Widdop, and the ball is lost backwards by the Dragons. We need to confirm that Luke Lewis does not knock the ball forward.
That's try time.
No, but did Lewis, did his arm contact it out of the grasp of Widdop? That's what they have to clear up. It's going to be a very close call. Lewis's hand is very much in the vicinity. I've got that as a touch, just about.
I know, but is it... Yeah. It definitely touches the football, but I think that's a try.
Hold him here, hold him
Here
here,
you
mate.
go. This is one where they've set it up, no try.
Yeah, I'll take that into account.
Hold him there, mate.
I mean, realistically,
Demon.
he's falling.
I'll
He's
go for it.
not playing at the football. He's not
That's
trying
right.
to knock the football
No,
out.
no,
He's
not
falling
at all,
over.
not at all.
He's trying to tackle Gareth Widdop to get a repeat set of 6.
That's right. If all he's done is touch the ball while it's in the grasp of Gareth Widdop,
Exactly.
then it's no knock forward.
And that's a try.
The ball is lost backwards by Dragons. There is no hand by Luke Lewis, and we have a grounding. We have a decision going to the board.
I can live with that. You're the former St George Illawarra Dragon. You can live with it. Not that you've got any bias in your call.
I think that's a try. You've got to be honest, that's a try, because Luke Lewis is not playing in the football. If he was trying to rake the football out, it's 1-on-1, it's fine anyway, but the ball comes loose. Opportunistic, guys on it, it's a fair try.
A little bit of dabbing in the crowd. Cronulla have got their first try of the night. And they've been building to that. It's been 5 or 6 minutes on top, and now they have converted.
And this is the reward for the 2 repeat sets of 6. And a bit of variation too. You saw them go to the right-hand side. Widdop defended it well. and tackled Luke Lewis in a great tackle, and then this. Just wanted to get another repeat set of 6 on this occasion. They get the try. Paul Gallen, a happy man.
113th try in the grand career of Luke Lewis. The Clive Churchill medal winner. You can never take that off him from last year. 2-time premiership winner. Every kick important when you're chasing points. Maloney from 20 metres in from touch to get it back to 8, the difference. I'm liking this Cronulla bench again tonight, Gaz.
Yeah.
Who they do. Bakuyas to stand out tonight. Hyington, Lattimore, as they did last week. So Maloney does make the margin, 8 the difference. The derby, it is game on. 14-6 on Fox League, Fitchy.
Yeah, the amount of defence this Dragons team has done to start this second half. I wonder how long Paul McGregor waits to get his starting front rowers back on. We've seen how effective Packer and Vaughan were at the start of the game. They don't want to snuff out any momentum Cronulla got here, and I'll be looking to get those 2 big bobbers back on the field.
Exactly right. And look what Bakuya has done to the game. He's changed the game.
So Dragons, they've gone, well, it's neither short nor long. It's the mid-range kickoff. I don't know if he scuffed it there, Josh Dugan. It's given Cronulla tackle number 1 on the 30 and a penalty conceded. Well, as the
Hold him down.
Here they come.
momentum shifted here. Be far off 14-12 this one. Fox League, Sunday night. Down in the Shire. A traditional derby. Lattimore takes the first. Riley, 10-10. Showing the ball to Hyington. Now this man just keeps on working. Jason Bakuya. Rayleigh for Hyington. Maloney. They're on for Graham running back at the angle. They're 12 away again. They've got 3 tackles left in the set. Brayley with the ball. Got his first try last week against the Raiders. Akuya in a dummy half. Townsend up on the right side on the spin. Dragons defence stop him. He's host over the top, and Dugan. Last it is for Cronulla. Maloney has gone low, and the Dragons through Dugan, quite brilliant. He'd been involved in the previous tackle and then produced that. And now a penalty as well. Superb work, Josh Dugan.
And superb work from the Dragons with their goal line defence. Yes, they conceded 1 try, but it was off the error of Gareth Widdop. Luke Lewis opportunistic. But I'd actually like to see the Sharks go back through the middle a little bit more. They've got a really nice play where Wade Graham gets it out on the out and throws it inside to either Valentine Holmes or Jack Bird. They're trying to go around the Dragons too much. Their edges would have practiced that defensively all week.
Finch called for the return of the starting front row as they come back on together. Vaughan and Packer. They take those 2 hit-ups straight away. The Packer that time is the decoy. McCrone out for Widdop. Nice shake. The Dragons get moving. Thompson. Trick hero from round 1 against the Panthers. Laffey for Widdop. Cry of offside there. And then cry for the Sharks fans, a forward pass. Dragons, they've got themselves inside the 20, and it's been a while. Packer with it. Last tackle, Dragons. So they put a kick in for McDonald. They go back the other side. Widdop, they're going to try and have a shot at them. Laffey, flick pass. I thought it was forward to Nightingale. Play on's the call. The ball with Widdop. Kept it alive for McCrone. Now the kick for McDonald. But boy, where's that one headed? To the golf course.
Okay. Full whistle, mate. Yeah.
Well, in the modern game, the kicking game puts so much pressure on the opposition. It's a missed opportunity. Look what Cronulla Sharks did down the other end. They went 2 repeat sets of 6 and got a try. Laffey chances his arm. Yes, questionable whether that was forward or not. And then McCrone, he puts it in the 5th row.
I've done that a few times, boys.
Well, it's my understanding, look, this is it for Wade Graham for the night. A second concussion test, you're gone for the game. He's just come off with a signal touching the head. Brett Finch will check that with the Sharks bench if that's the case as to why Graham is off the field. But there he is off to the bench. Cronulla up on halfway. Paulo's on the field. He's offloaded to Latilli. And back inside the 30 they go.
That would be a big blow, Wade Graham.
Now Maloney, Townsend right across the park to Lewis. Where can Holmes get his hands on the ball? He'll get it on the ground. Valentine Holmes with a tackle count restarts Cronulla. 12 from the line. What a chance this is to bridge the gap even further. Gallen is right in front of the black dot. Brayley now, back for Townsend. Got it away, the outside men moving up quickly, offload for Bird. The pass had come from Capewell. Bird evades one, stays on the move, got away from Thompson, got away from Widdop. He's covered some territory there. He's introduced himself to a few of the Dragons defenders. Plays it 5 metres out. Still with the Sharks. And Lewis overrun there by Maloney. Tackle number 4 now. The Sharks with Townsend. Across for Paulo. It's been touched by the Dragons. Play on. It's a try to Edric Lee. No question about it. Big Edric has scored for the Sharks. And now it's 4 points the difference. The Shark nets, they've been cut open and they're working their way in.
And you could see Nene McDonald, he only had eyes for Ricky Latelli. There's the 6 again call. Tim Laffey maybe knocked that out. Valentine Holmes just takes a settler, but look at this. Nene McDonald, he's only got eyes for Ricky Latelli. There's no need there. Ewan Aiken, they had good line speed. They'd gotten up off their line. They could have just waited. They could have sat on their haunches. Instead, they've made the decision for them. And Edric Lee, you will not get an easier try.
There's the Sharks bench into play. Paulo, skillful player, saw the chance. Backwards from the hand, touched by McDonald. Lee's got his first for the Sharks.
And that's just penning from the Dragons. That's all it is. But it shows you the difference in the kicking game. You know, that's a 7 tackle set. Off the back of that, yes, they got 6 again, but it gave them field position.
22 and a half to go. By the way, gamble responsibly, but you're down to your last 10. Who do you want it on right now? Cronulla or the Dragons?
Geez, probably all the momentum's with Cronulla. Saying that, the Dragons have been so disciplined with the football. I'd go the Sharks.
Get Finchie's thoughts in a moment. As Maloney kicks for 2 the difference. 80% success rate in the career. Rain sticking around here. 14-0 it was at half-time. And Maloney they trust. James Maloney's not going to get swing on that one. 4 the difference. All right, Finchie, down to your last 10. Who do you want it on?
Hey, boys, my money's still on the Dragons. I think they can get home. The crowd here tonight, fellas, for the local derby, 14,247 here at Shark Park. And an update on Wade Graham. He's gone back down the tunnel. He's as tough as they come, Wade, so it doesn't look too promising, but we'll keep an update for you.
Dragons, 10 straight points conceded since half-time. Edric Lee from the kick-off. And look at Fafita. He has started his run out at the golf course there. Tackle 1 on the 20. Good local derby, this one, with 21 and a half minutes to go. Now Paulo. Brayley with that problem for Graham. Brayley's going to play 80 minutes in first grade, I think, for the first time tonight. That's altered things a little. Lewis with the ball. Last week it was Paulo who came on for Brayley for the last 10. And now Lewis has got a problem for the Sharks. The right knee or shin there for Luke Lewis. That's the end of the night for Wade Graham. That second HIA, so
Yeah,
it's all happening here for the medical staff for Cronulla.
And while he's receiving some attention from Andrew Gray, to give you some idea of the possession, the Dragons have only touched the football 11 times since the 44th minute. So it shows you how much the Sharks have dominated possession.
Dragons don't have to change anything here, boys. Do what they've done well all night. Run hard, complete their sets, make the Sharks come off their line.
Yep, I agree, Finchie. Saw how well it worked for them in the first half, as you just see. Shoulder of Laffine collected Luke Lewis.
Yeah, he had a problem up top end down low. Luke Lewis there.
Take your paw. Here, Paul.
Laffine just gives him a pat on the
Square,
back.
Gareth. Tim, square.
Contact like that can happen. And Sharks with the ball, keeping it alive. There's an overlap here. Along it comes for Fifita, doesn't pass straight away. Andrew, look up to your left, mate. It's down the balls with Maloney. On for Paulo, Latelli. Latelli rounded up 30 away, but if Fifita lets it go straight away, they're well inside the 30. Maloney will bomb from that 30-metre line. Dugan is there. He's called for it. Dugan's lost it. Cronulla with a ball. Paulo's onto it. It's all Cronulla at the moment. They haven't led at any stage tonight. That could change in a moment. Brayley, Maloney, across for Bakuya. Now the chance up for the first time tonight for Cronulla, the home team. This is a local derby. Townsend across. Capewell has got to the end goal but hasn't forced it. I don't think he got it down.
No, I haven't got it down. Ashley. Yeah. No try. I've got tackle 2. I've got it held up there. Can you just make sure, confirm it is held up, or does he ground the ball?
Capewell's off claiming the try. Referee says they haven't got it down.
Okay,
Players will get a breather.
Well, he's so strong, Capewell.
Okay, as can be seen on the left-hand side, Joel Thompson is underneath the ball.
Got tackle 2, mate.
No one in the Sharks is claiming this try. Most of all, the man who was with the ball in hand, Kurt Capewell. I think he's a good man to ask. Let's have no try. Get on with it.
And it brought the Dragons undone last week. We saw their errors against Parramatta. They only had 10 in total, but they were either attacking the opposition's try line or in their own 10-metre line. On this occasion, we saw Josh Dugan drop the bomb. With you, Vossi, that's not going to show too much.
I think we've only had one instance where a player who didn't get up claiming a try, and the bunker proved that
As can be seen, the Cronulla player is actually now rising up away from the ground, having the hand underneath the ball initially. We have a decision going to the board.
All right, mate. Just on that
This will be a
10-metre line,
surprise,
mate.
this decision.
Thanks, mate. Tackle 2. Just
Big-
wait there. Hold him up.
Big numbers out to the left for the Sharks.
Tackle 2.
By the way, it's no try. Cronulla on the restart. 10 away from the try line, 14 points to 10.
Now, Cameron!
We head into the final quarter now. The Sharks are on a roll for Fifita. Wow, Thompson put his body on the line. So too Winnett, so too Packer. Fifita's kicking around like a fish taken out of the water there. A big fish at that. There's now Maloney for Paulo. Paulo is spun around in the tackle. They've regrouped well here, St George Illawarra. Last tackle, Maloney, he goes low, he's got it to the end goal. Oh, what a letdown that is. Over the dead ball line. And then Lewis took Nightingale down, and they will give a penalty. This sometimes could be sin bin.
Up here.
In the middle on the 20.
Hey, come and give it, please.
Boys, what a fantastic by the skipper, Gareth Widdop, on the line on Andrew Fifita. Good luck trying to stop him. We've seen the damage he done in the grand final and how hard he is to stop. Great tackle by the skipper.
You know what? That's no advantage at all to the Dragons. They were going to get a 7-tackle set from the 20. Now that's tackle 1 for them.
And made 2 metres.
So they lost a tackle and got a penalty. That's an odd one. I don't think we've seen that before. Frizzell with the ball over the 40. McInnes to centre field for Vaughan. 14 plays 10. Sharks and Dragons going at it again. Heading into tonight, the Dragons had won 19, the Sharks had won 18 of the derbies. Dugan to play it, he's been good tonight. Widdop slows it down there for Packer. Finchie called for the front rows to go back out there. They are doing the job, Vaughan and Packer. Last for the Dragons. Widdop, McRae, he'll kick and look for McDonald. Here he comes. Nene McDonald, big bat down there. Dragons, Aitken does well to wriggle his way loose and keep it alive. Now for Vaughan, it's still the last tackle. He keeps it alive. Nene McDonald throws a low ball. Aitken's got it back. Lee's got him. Aitken beats another one. Can't offload. Yes, he does offload.
And the Sharks have the ball. It's again their finishes to their sets. They're playing such a tough discipline. As we see Fafita.
Oh, Fafita is penalised for lashing out. That's, well, I assume the face of Josh McCrone, and he's penalised.
That's a big penalty. Fafita, he's been quite good this year with his discipline. So he just shoved McCrone.
The second one. So it looked like Cummins was prepared to live with the first one, but not the second. What do you think of that? Oh, I'm happy for that.
So as long as they're consistent with it, I do not have a drama. You can see McCrone's leg wrapped around Fafita. He obviously got frustrated. He's been so good in the opening 2 rounds in not, pushing after tackles and niggling, and he's just concentrated on his football, and he's been brilliant.
Well, down the other end where I said he was flapping about like a fish, there was actually no hand on him, and he was still doing the act on the ground. Teammates just say, get up and play it. Frizzell off to the bench for the Dragons. All the same, I mean, yeah, massive call. I mean, what if 14 all, 5 to go? Does the same thing happen? Cummins couldn't have been any closer to it. He was right over the top. And Whittam with a perfect record tonight. Man from Halifax, 22 minutes out. There's another 2. Margin is 6. The derby on Fox League. The Dragons lead the Sharks. And this is the last match of round 3. You talk about derbies. There's no more famous derby to kick off round 4. Thursday night on Fox League. Rabbitohs versus the Roosters. The book of feuds will come out again, and we'll quote from it. Roosters top of the table with the Melbourne Storm. Rabbitohs back-to-back wins in rounds 2 and 3. Premiers down by 6 here. Maloney restarts play. There's 15 and a half to go. With it 15 in their own line. No Wade Graham to return for Cronulla. Luke Lewis is off the field at the moment as well for the Sharks. And there's a bit of work going on the back of Tyson Frizzell. We know he's got a problem with that. He's being worked on the sideline for the Dragons. I'm sure they'd like to get him back out there for the close of this one. Inside their own half, it's St George Illawarra. The Bellin, he's had big numbers tonight. 20 tackles and 11 hit-ups. Vaughan has been outstanding. That time into Cronulla's half. Gallen, Paulo, Brayley all there. 5th tackle. They're through this set. Whittam bombs from a long way out. Bird underneath it. It's over his head. There's danger here. Bird, does well to fold himself up and get the ground there.
He does do well, but that's a better kick. It was a bomb only 5 metres out from his goal line, and then now look at the line speed from the Dragons.
This becomes the biggest set of the match if the Dragons can force an error here. With the Sharks coming out of trouble. Capel just outside the 10. Crowd doing their best to try and earn their team a penalty. Holmes on the run that time. Brayley, Pryor. Nice run back up over the 30, but that's all they'll do in this set. Now for the kick. Townsend, no pressure on him at all. He runs 10 metres before kicking. All the way down to the wing of Nightingale. St George Illawarra have another use of the ball, and they're another set closer to victory.
They've got to get pressure on their kickers. The good teams, you see Melbourne, Storm, Brisbane, they put a lot of pressure on the kickers. They exert all that energy doing the hard work with the line speed in defence. You've got to back it up and put pressure on the kickers.
Now Thompson with that run. Feeder in that tackle. And for Jacob Host. Dragons 40 away from the Cronulla line. One fresh man on the St George Illawarra bench. I don't know if he gets on. Kurt Mann. I don't need to watch his jumper at the moment.
Just looking at the Dragons here, they might be thinking field goal.
Well, they've got McCrone centre field. Whittam on the left side. There's McCrone on to Dugan. Dugan, the kick through. Lee is onto it. So Edric Lee with the ball for Cronulla. But it's deep inside their territory. Fox League on this Sunday night. This is Latelli with it.
It just looked like they were setting up for a field goal there. It'll be interesting to see how Cronulla play this, whether they just try and go in behind the ruck as Valentine Holmes does there, or whether they're prepared to shift the football.
Is this going to be a case of next scorer wins? Cronulla, if they score again, get up level. Momentum with them. Will they go home with it? Gallen with the ball. Gallen offloads. This is Holmes. McInnes over the top. Vaughan low. Cronulla to the right. Townsend's going to kick. Another high one. Here comes Nightingale. Up go the Sharks. He's knocked back. Should be play on Cronulla.
Knock on. It's an accidental offside. Change over.
Again, no pressure on Townsend. Jace Nightingale would be screaming for someone to put pressure on the kicker. He had all the time in the world, which allowed it to be pinpoint, and the Cronulla chasers to get through.
Accidental offside off Bird into Capewell. Quite so graphically there, but that's what the referee saw, and that ended the set. And the Dragons are back with it. 12 to go. They're chasing their second win of the year, but only the one penalty goal since half-time. But it might be enough. A Crone on to Vaughan. Well, he's earning his keep for St George Illawarra. Inside their 40 now. Donald will go for a gallop. Up to halfway with McInnes and Dugan and Packer this time. Running at Gallen. Not able to offload. Offload count is 9 to Cronulla and 8 to the Dragons in the match as Whittam. Another bomb. This time it's Holmes at fullback. He's onto the ball. Cronulla are with it. Holmes has got away from one. Not away from McGrath. He'll be fullback for the rest of the night now, Valentine Holmes. They've got to find a way to bring him in a little more. Riley on the prior. Up they rushed on him. Inside their own half, Brayley on for Latelli. He's been one of their best. We've got him down for his 18th run of the night just there. This time it's Fifita to Maloney out the back. Oh, Townsend runs into Laffey.
Well, if Holmes was out the back of that play, that was the option. He came off his inside shoulder of Townsend. If he just stayed out the back and they could play to him, they'd created the numbers. Laffey's been strong and physical in defence.
Yeah, they've rolled the dice, haven't they, Gaz? They've been really aggressive on those edges. It's paid off for them tonight.
That was quite brutal from Tim Laffey. Get round to working out what was that Chad Townsend post-try celebration in the first half. It's obviously been something he's been thinking about. I don't know whether he can reproduce it now after he's gone off on a no try.
He can't. He's wasted it.
Maybe down at Northies on a Saturday night.
What did you know about that, Brett? Kick goes up from Maloney, looking for McDonald. Lee may have got a hand to it. Now he has. Dragons with the ball. Call is play on, and then they'll say penalty.
Why is that?
Players in front.
Why can't you take a quick tap?
Josh, you got a whole heap of players in front of you. Can't
There
do
you go.
it.
That's a fair call. And one of those players is Nene McDonald. He's just coming back, so well done, referees.
No, he ran in support with Josh Dugan.
No,
He took a
okay,
quick tap.
all right. Well, he said, yeah, we'd have to go back and see who's in front.
Look, there's Nathan McDonald on the ground.
Yep.
The replay box, and he gets up and runs. That's silly play from the telly.
All right, well, we'll stick with the action as we get to the final 9.5 minutes now. So keenly fought this match. The Bellin with it. It was 14-0 at halftime if you joined us late. Sharks had a disallowed try right on halftime. At 14-0 it was. They got it back to 14-10. And then the Whittam goal since after Fifita conceded a penalty in possession. 20 metres out. Vaughan with it. Big run, Paul Vaughan. The former Incredible Hulk from Canberra. 30 away from the line. Whittam to centre field, become the Dragons. Nothing much doing there. Takes Dugan out. St George Illawarra last tackle, McCrone to the corner. Sharks receive, go over the sideline. I think they have to go and try and back the scrum quickly though. Even this far out, not as much time as possible to get that try.
And that's a much better kicking option on the last play. Particularly look at the position they're in, 6 points ahead. They need to waste all the time they can. And the style of football they're playing, and tough, disciplined, not too expansive. It's crucial that you have good finishes to your sets. Otherwise you undo all your hard work. What a run from Paul Vaughan.
Yeah, huge from Vaughan. 29 tackles, 14 hit-ups tonight. By the way, Cameron McInnes, 45 tackles for the Dragons on top of 48 last week in 80 minutes against Parramatta, the former buddy. Makuya on that run. He stayed out there. This is Gallen. But they're at the wrong end of the field at the moment. Cronulla. Have they got a long-range try in them? Townsend. Running, they stand back from Townsend. Widdop makes the tackle. Now just inside Dragons territory. As across they go through Fafita. Maloney, nice build up for Holmes. He was looking to put the foot on the accelerator. McCrone did well and then he almost lost it. Nice tackle, Maloney. Another bomb. Dugan is set. 10 metres out from his own line. Good take again from Dugan. And then beat a couple. It's great work from the Dragons, number one.
Great take, Josh Dugan, but again, his teammates putting no pressure on the kicker. They need to start working for one another.
Here's the take, and then the work after it is really good. Alert, spin, and the strength of Dugan.
Boys, the Dragons reckon he's a better right centre, but geez, he's a handy number one as well, isn't he?
He is. Such a great runner of the football.
Thompson back to the 40. That's 4 for the Dragons in this set. Armour, every 10. They're one closer to victory. Now there's 7 to go. Last tackle with McCrone to kick from a long way out. Holmes, steady she goes at the back. The Sharks with Capewell, headed across field, has linked up with Big Lee. Look at the legs, up over the 40.
Again, why wouldn't you put it over the sideline exactly as he did earlier?
Latelli on the run now. Tackle 2 is 40 away from the Dragons line. Paulo across to Maloney. Fafita. Fafita heads across field now as well. He's got a good bump, we know that. But Thompson wrapped him up with Armour. Brayley for Townsend. Cronulla flat for Pryor. Back to Townsend. Over the head. Latelli, a crook old bounce. He's with it now. Evades Aitken. Latelli. Tackled by the Dragons on tackle 4. 6 minutes to go. 6 the difference. We haven't had Golden Point this weekend. We've had 2 games so far this season. Townsend for Lewis. He's the kicker. There's a big chance for the corner. Nightingale cops a push in the back. And the ball has gone dead, but the penalty, it was blatant. Dragons get it.
It was a good play, though, by Luke Lewis. The defence had come up as they'd rushed up and in all night. Jace Nightingale just gets a push in the back. They have to have a good finish to this set. First of all, they've got to complete it, but they need to kick it over the sideline, the Dragons. The Sharks, they're looking really good. Starting to chance their arm.
I hadn't been monitoring that penalty situation, but it's gone out to 9-3 to the away team. Dragons 9 penalties to... Still overall there, 49% of the ball to the Dragons. 27 of 43 completed 6 tonight for Paul McGregor's team. George Illawarra with Armour. Who's going to have the bragging rights tonight in the derby? They got them in round 23 last year, the Dragons in grand style. And now trying to hang on here. Slowing it all down here. Jack de Belin. Finn confronted by the defence. Into the Sharks half he goes. 4.5 remaining. 6 the difference. McDonald caught there by Paulo. Referee says last tackle that time over the sideline out on the full. Gaz throws the arms up. They just can't close it out.
Well, it was the right idea. It was just poor execution. Then McDonald did all he could. He got a great quick play the ball. Look at that.
Cronulla with the ball. Here's the state of play. With just under 4 remaining. A converted try the difference. Cronulla have the ball 5 inside their own half. Townsend across to Lewis. Lewis offloading the Bird, and he went back the head, sort of got whiplash there in the tackle of Laffey. Now Lewis, Townsend for Finter, cut offload, another good tackle by McInnes. Just at his 50, it's 46 tackles. And with it is Brayley. Inside the 30 he goes. The Sharks with Townsend across to Maloney. Maloney kicks back towards the post. Here they come. There is Dugan again. Super work by the Dragons fullback.
Great work, Josh Dugan. You read that. He was coming across at pace. Had to stop, plant his feet and go back the other way. Did it brilliantly.
Slippery conditions as well. Context to the match. It's a huge play by the Dragons fullback. Now Thompson back upfield. A great run as well. St George Illawarra on the march. And their fans are close to opening up on the team's song, but they're not home yet. 2.5 to go. Played by McDonald. McInnes to Widdop. He'll drive it to the touchline again and finds it well. Inside the 10-metre zone. And now the Sharks need to sprint to the scrum.
And that is the kick they're looking for. Great kick, Gareth Widdop. Just gets some time to regroup, get their breath. And also a set defensive line. There'll be a lot of talk out there. Watch out for the kick.
You can stand but stay in position.
Key indicators they've got to watch out for. Look for Valentine Holmes around the ruck. Wrap up the offload. All these things would be being said by the Dragons. They'd be telling each other, we're only 2 minutes away from a good victory.
Only ever been one golden point game between these sides. That was back in 2008. And the Sharks won it with a penalty goal. So Cronulla, they're a long way away from the try line where they want to be. Bird on tackle 1. They slow it down. The Dragons a little... Oh, no! I was going to say their defensive line was ragged. Now Brayley has lost it.
Get out!
Gallen knows the situation. He's trying to form a scrum so they can stop the clock again, even though it's a Dragons feed. That is good football sense from Gallen. Forget the brouhaha, just pack the scrum.
Poor young Brayley. He's been so good since coming into first grade. Just looked up a little too early, had a look where he wanted to run.
The fans in front of us in the broadcast side of the ground, they've decided there'll be no miracle. They're up. They're going to try and beat the traffic.
We would think they're going to work in around the post and set up for a field goal.
There's 99 seconds to play. They're taking their time with a scrum.
Time off.
It's that or either kick it over the sideline. Waste time and then eventually kick it over the sideline.
Let's get this scrum going. Nothing silly here. You hold the weight, Cronulla.
Unbelievable that we still have this in the game.
Nothing silly here. Get down into it.
Shenanigans. Have a look at this with you. Fafita had a lash out at it. Dragons have got the ball with Widdop, and then Dugan across to Laffey, loses the footing. Manly finished off their big win over the Cowboys last night with a try in the dying stages. The Dragons have a chance to do same here. Thompson, the good record of the away teams is continuing. Now to Bellin, goes nice and short. Sims was almost through. Gallen made the tackle in front of the posts. McInnes to McCrone. We're into the final minute now. The Dragons with the ball. Dugan kept it alive. McDonald almost lost it. That would have given half a chance for the Sharks. Tackle 4, nice and slow. Aitken and there for host. And they're only going to use 3 of their bench players. Paul Kirkman never got on tonight. Last tackle, the Dragons. It is McCrone with the ball. It's gone for Widdop. They're going to stretch it right over the corner. Laffey will have a run at the line. Has lost it over the sideline.
It's not a bad play. It's not a bad option. You've got him coming out of a corner. They really need to get off their line now, the Dragons.
So just 2 or 3 tackles left for Cronulla. Great First tackle on Gallen. What have you got defending premiers? The Sharks with it. 90 metres to cover. Maloney at the Latelli. Latelli caught by McCrone. As they won't even have time to play it. The derby is won by the Dragons. They've done it again. Just the one penalty goal to St George Illawarra in the second half. But it's been enough. The Dragons have beaten the defending premiers. They secure their second win of the season. And the Sharks have their second loss. Full time. St George Illawarra 16, Cronulla 10.
6 points the difference in the local derby, and it was a point we made in the build-up to this game that past form can't ever come into a local derby. And Greg Alexander, that was very much on show tonight.
Gee, that was a gutsy win by the Dragons. Their forwards were outstanding. They went in with a simple game plan. They only kicked a penalty goal in the second half after leading 14-0 and had to weather an assault and plenty of football go the Sharks' way in that second half. That's an outstanding win.
What did you think of the intensity in that second half, Dan?
Yeah, loved it. I loved seeing the boys just keep turning up for each other, working from the inside. Cronulla had a lot of possession and obviously the game.